Okay, we're going to go into body composition. So for body compositions, you need to know how to calculate the following. I'm going to move it up here. I'm going to try to keep a steady hand. Muscle mass, which is also known as your lean body mass or weight, muscle percentage, and fat mass, which is also known as fat weight, which you will see on your fitness assessment form later on as you work amongst yourselves. Okay, so now one thing I do want you to know, and this is really important, that you need to convert both muscle and fat percentages into decimal form in order for you to determine both muscle mass and fat mass. Okay, and so what we're going to do, what I did was I just threw a fictional person. I didn't just take it from someone else. Information from for body fat analyzer. That small little gadget that you held with the sensors to tell you how much muscle you have versus fat. Okay, so look at what I have here. So let's just say, example, the machine gives you your fat percentage, which is 17.7. Again, I just made this up. So 17.7, which is your fat percentage. Your BMI is 21.2. So according to the body fat classification, that would be considered normal weight. The weight, again, made up 160 pounds. So this person is pretty much healthy, very low fat percentage, just in a really good position right now. However, what we do not know are the fat mass, muscle percentage, and muscle mass. So we're going to need the fat percentage in order to determine the other three. So I'm going to go and bring this down for a moment. Oh, by the way, before we go on, I need to apologize for the other two, as you see, being erased. I had those switched over, so that was a small little glitch of mine. So when we're talking about fat percentage, again, that would be 17.7. One thing I need for you to do is when we try to calculate either the fat mass or muscle mass, you need to go ahead and convert the fat percentage into a decimal. Or the same thing with muscle percentage. You're going to need to convert the muscle percentage into a decimal. So anytime when you're talking about mass, you need to go ahead and bring the decimal spaces to the left. Okay, the percentage to the left. Okay, so we're going to use the fat percentage to determine muscle percentage. To me, of all the calculations, this one's pretty easy because when we're talking about 100%, 100% really means, the entire makeup of the human being. Okay, so with that one, you don't have to bring two decimal spaces to the left because it's a straightforward shot. So muscle percentage equal to 100%, again, that's the entire makeup of the person, minus 17.7, and of course we're going to have a relatively big number, 82.3%, which is really good considering that muscle weighs more than fat. And muscle aids in metabolism, so the higher the muscle percentage, the better off you'll be. Okay, now we're going to take that same fat percentage, and again, as I mentioned, we're going to move it to the space twice to the left. So we're going to take that 160 is your weight, the 160 times 0.177. Again, I emphasize, don't forget to bring the decimal space to the left. So 160 times 0.177, and that equals to 28.32 pounds. Okay, you can round it off if you like, but so when we're talking about pounds, pounds indicate mass. So don't forget when you're working with your client, always indicate to them that when we're talking about mass, it's always in pounds. Okay, if you want to convert them into kilograms, you can do so, but please do that after the test because some people tend to use different units of the metric system. Okay, so now that we've established the fat mass, now let's go ahead and do muscle mass. I'm going to move it to the left a little bit. So muscle mass is easy. So take that same weight, the overall weight, 160, minus what we got for fat mass, which is 28.32, and we come up with 131.68 pounds. Now, if you're not sure if you got everything right, add these two together and you come up with 160 pounds. Okay, so that it's right. So what's the moral of the story? fat mass less than muscle mass is a great thing, okay? Because if you have more fat mass versus muscle mass, that's indicative of heart disease, hypertension, diabetes. Those are risk factors that you need to be very wary of, especially with your client. Okay, so please make a note of that. The next video you're going to see will be on the Kavonin formula, which is used to determine one's target heart rate zone. So you're going to need to know that, especially when you're working with a client who's concerned with cardiorespiratory endurance. Okay, so that's the end of this slide, and we'll go on to the next one.